The Cedar Falls Freedom Rock is currently in the process of being completed. A rock has been chosen and moved. But how does one pick out a Freedom Rock?
The rock that was selected, obviously you want the biggest bang for your buck. So when Sid Morse and Tom Haggerty started the process to bring this Freedom Rock to Blackhawk County, there was a desire to get the biggest rock we could. And eventually, or initially, it was thought that we wanted a rock that was maybe 8 to 10 foot tall and maybe 6 to 8 feet wide, so people could see it from quite a ways away. It proved a little bit difficult to find something that big, but we did, with the help of Garth Huffman, who owns some property on the south end of Eagle Ridge Road. He had a rock on his property there that pretty much meets our requirements. It's going to be about 8 feet tall by the time we get done, and at the widest point about 6.5 feet or 6 feet wide. So it took a little bit of time to find one, but we believe we found one that's going to be very appropriate for that site.
Since being chosen, the Freedom Rock is well on its way to being finished and ready for display. Early in the morning, a moving crew set to work digging out the soil around the rock in order to access its underside for removal. One by one, the different players began to arrive. A flatbed trailer, support vehicles, a crane. In a short while, the rock was ready to be plucked from the ground. The crew set to work prepping the crane and the rock, and in no time, the rock was attached to the end of the crane, and it slowly began rising off the ground. The crane rotated ever so slowly and deposited the rock onto the trailer. The convoy made its way to the Veterans Park, and then the delicate process of placing the rock began. Moving the rock from its original home is one thing, but precision placement is another thing entirely. What is amazing to see is how the nearly 10-ton boulder can actually be moved very slightly by hand when it is suspended from the crane. Once the boulder was rotated to perfection, it was lowered back to the ground. The boulder was then flipped into an upright position, and with the rock in location, the most difficult part of the process is finished. The painting and completion of the project is a story for next time on City News, but we were able to find out about what sort of look the Freedom Rock will have once it's finished.
There was a committee that was put together, and they kind of put some ideas out that they wanted to see. Obviously the American flag, eagles. They wanted to make sure that war wasn't glorified, but that the veterans that took part in those conflicts were given their respect that they deserve. Now the artist contract, he can take those ideas, and obviously we want to provide ideas that are going to specifically identify that rock with Blackhawk County, but the artist does have his ability to paint what he would like to paint on there. So he's not specifically bound by the ideas, but certainly he will utilize those when he puts the art together.